What is next for Solo Sikoa? Now, last week before Raw's debut on Netflix, he had a one-on-one match with Roman Reigns, tribal combat, whatever it was, and he came away with an L. He came away with a loss. Now, it seemed that, I think what he said was that he would obviously return the Ulafala to Roman Reigns, which occurred, and that he would acknowledge him as the tribal chief. So where does that leave Solo? Now, there are a lot of rumours as to what could happen next in terms of the Roman side of things, but what about the Solo side and his new bloodline with Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga and Tangaloa? I think there should be still a progression with them. I think there's still more for them to do. I just think they should move away from the bloodline side of things and be kind of their own group. I think there still shouldn't be any sort of dissension or anything like that. It makes no sense for them to have that distinction. Maybe have Solo kind of come back not as cocky and as arrogant, but in the same way as like nothing changes with his group, in a sense that he is still the man in charge in regards. Jacob Fatu is still the heavy, and obviously Tangaloa needs to wait. Tama Tonga, needs to wait for Tangaloa, and they can get back into the tag team picture, I guess. Now, there was a rumour that they could be paired with the Wyatt Six. The Wyatts have been moved to SmackDown. Would I like to see that? I feel like that puts the new bloodline, in a sense, down another peg, in a sense, because it's not really elevated. Well, the Wyatt Six haven't really been elevated since their debut. Their debut was phenomenal, and the kind of vignettes since were great. It's just not really picked up as much momentum as expected. I thought Chad Gable was a good starting point. It's then moved into the Final Testament, which really hasn't evolved into anything, and maybe the new start on SmackDown will help. Maybe the new bloodline side of things would help that situation. But for me, I feel like Solo needs to go into... This needs to be kind of a middle ground, in a sense. Not to that point. I don't think they need like another group to feud with, in a sense. I think they need to think of their own things. Solo needs to be possibly looking at the upper end of the title picture. I know he had a couple of runs at it last year, and it didn't really pay out. Maybe upper mid card, in a sense. You should look at Jacob Fatu as possibly definitely a mid carder, the heavy, in a sense, like the Batista was in Evolution. I know Batista did the tag teaming with Flair, and Randy Orton was the Intercontinental Champion at the time when Evolution were big. But for me, I think that Jacob Fatu stands out more with this group, and I feel like he should be the mid card title holder if you're going to have all the belts on a group. And obviously you've got Tama Tonga Tangaloa being the tag team. And it's a question that's kind of still going through my mind as I'm kind of speaking. It's like, where does Solo fit now? Does he move over to Raw? Do we have a bit of a feud with Seth and with the ones involved in there, and Sammy and Jimmy and Jay and everything like that? Do we have him take out Jimmy again? It's all just kind of up in the air in terms of what we need to do. I feel like there needs to be a bit of progression with Solo. Where do we go next? I don't want to see them split up. I think they're a good group, but it's a bit of a confusing one for me. There's a bit of a, this has happened, now where do we go next? He's not really been elevated to an extent. Some may argue he has been over the past year or so, but I feel as though he's not at that point in terms of a main event side of things. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we could see something there. As a heel, there are a bit of a lack of heels, in a sense. We've obviously got Drew and Kevin. You could kind of say Seth, maybe. He's a bit of an in-between. Roman was, he's now a babyface, and so is Cody. There's not many heels at the top, so maybe there is a bit of a space for him at this moment in time, but we'll have to see. I don't think he has that full star power that Roman had. That's kind of the point, but yeah, I think he needs something, and they need to take a step back and have a look at things maybe, and see where we can reassess Solo Sikoa in a sense. I think he's really good. I think there's no issue with him being in the WWE. It's just that he's a bit, now for me going forward, there's a bit less of a projection, and it's trying to figure out where he fits, and I'm not sure. And I'd like to see that. Hopefully, there are answers to these questions on SmackDown tonight. Let me know, guys, what you think. What would you do with Solo Sikoa next? What should be the next kind of program in a sense? What should be his next move? Let me know, guys, in the comments down below. Like this video if you haven't. Subscribe if you're new. Until next time, guys. Take care.